When you live with Siberian Huskies, one thing is for sure. Shed happens. Oh. Now we know where Gryphon's been sleeping. What do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? Today we dive into just how much Huskies shed and time savers you can use during coat blow season and basically all year round. Good job. Oh, are you doing this so you can get some Treatos? I don't get treats, I just want the treats. High five. That's a good one. Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Camille. This is Phoenix. This is Gryphon, and you're watching Meeler Husky. If you want to learn more about how to manage your busy life while still giving your dogs their best life, make sure you subscribe to this channel and tap that little notification bell so you never have to miss a new video. Oh, look at that. Just pull that out of Gryphon's chest. As an internet husky lady, I get asked these questions all the time. How much do huskies shed? How often do I have to groom my husky? Will I ever emerge out of this mountain of fur? Today we're gonna answer all of those questions, and I'm gonna share a couple time savers that I've gathered that you can use during coat blow season and also the rest of the year. Let's go. So I did a little experiment. I went on a business trip last week, so I wasn't even here. I instructed Mike not to brush Gryphon or pull any hair out of her because I was gonna see how much it built up in a week. This is what she looked like when I got back from my trip. And if you don't know, Huskies generally shed all year long, but they have 2 times a year where they have a full-on blowing of their undercoat, and that is happening right now for our girl Gryphon. I think it's a bit different for every dog. Phoenix will not shed quite as much as Gryphon will, so I've noticed it depends on my dogs. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but Gryphon looked like a hot mess when I came back. She was uncomfortable, she was itchy, she was generally annoyed, and it looked like a fur-splosion happened in our house. It's like a glitter bomb of husky fur exploded in every single room. Sometimes the shedding is what turns people off for these dogs, which is fine. Like, you have to understand that this is a reality for this breed, and it is going to be a lot of work. I'm a really busy person, but I found that with the right tools and proper time management, the shedding can be totally manageable. The first and #1 time saver that I have is the Canine 3 blower. All right, it's blowout day. Look at this. Look at all of this. It's just been coming out of her. Phoenix doesn't seem to have the same issue, but you, come on. We got the blower, we got the table, let's go. I got this during last coat blow season, and I was really reluctant to spend this kind of money because it's pretty pricey, and I was like, am I really that much of a dog lady that I need a blower? But wow, did I really need a blower. So if you guys didn't know, Gryphon is a rescue, and the first night I adopted her, I was like, girl, you need some help. Like, you got undercoat sticking out from all over you. Clearly no one has brushed you in a long time, so I'm gonna brush you. At that point, I did not have an industrial blower. I just had my handy dandy undercoat rake. And if you want to see a video on how I groom my dogs just using that undercoat rake, you can go to that little, I think it's over here. But with the amount that Gryphon needed to be groomed, it was out of control. We sat there and I groomed her for 4 hours, and she still needed so much work after this. It just wasn't enough, and I kept doing it every single day, but wow, it was exhausting. This time with the Canine 3 blower, it took 30 minutes to get all of that crazy undercoat that was sticking out of her off, and even some that was still underneath. It was all over my backyard. All right, princess, you're up first. Okay? Safety first. pros about this is obviously it's way faster, really good if you have more than one dog. You can do this dry, kind of like I did in this video, or you can also use it after your dog's bath to help dry their coats. I find that it's really, really hard to dry my Huskies with just a towel because the water just gets so in there. And while I was kind of reluctant to spend all of the money that I spent on this blower, I realized that my time is also very valuable. And if I can take 4 hours of a job and cut it down to 30 minutes, then that's really good for me. I still use the undercoat rake on a daily sort of basis, but if you want to do like the big job all in one go, definitely the K9 3 blower is highly recommended. I bought this version. There's 2 motors on this one. Some of them have 1. It's really up to you what you want to do, but this one has a lot of power. I think the only con for me is that the hair flies all over my backyard, which is not a con. I like it. Like, yes, it gives birds some stuffing to put in their nests, but you can't do that fun thing where you gather all the Huskies' hair together and make another dog out of it. It may take a while for your dogs to get used to a process like that, but honestly, it's a lot faster than brushing them with the undercoat rake, and Gryphon has a lot more patience with me when it only takes 30 minutes versus 4 hours of me bugging her and picking at her butt. The second time saver that I found is the grooming glove. I've done a review video on this specific grooming glove that I'm using here. You can find that in the cards as well. But I found that like even after you brush with the undercoat rake or even when you use the blower, there's still just some like stray hairs that sit on top of the dog's body because they're just like static clung to them, and that glove really does a lot for them. The other thing is that it's just as easy as petting your dogs, which you do on a daily basis anyway. So if you kind of want to just remove loose hair, put that glove on, pet your dogs for a couple minutes. It's also slightly less scary than the undercoat rake, so if you have a dog that's a little bit worried about that kind of stuff, this might be a good solution for you. Number 3 is to do a little bit every single day. Now this isn't really a time saver, but it's more of a time management principle. I definitely do not suggest letting it get as bad as Gryphon got in the 7 days that we did not brush or comb her hair. It's almost like working on a semester-long school project. Do you want to be the person who starts early, works on your project a little bit every day throughout the whole semester, and then turns it in on time? Or do you want to be the person who waits till like 2 days before the deadline and then pulls all-nighters just so you can turn it in when it's due? Honestly, if you're the latter, the quality of your work isn't really going to be as good as if you spread it out throughout the entire semester. If you can brush your Husky a little bit every single day, it's really not that bad. If you work it into your life like this, you're probably not even gonna notice. Almost every time I sit down and hang out with the dogs, I'm pulling undercoat hairs out. Sometimes I'll be watching TV and then I'll be like, this will be a good time to take out the rake and just brush my dogs while I sit here and relax. It's kind of nice and therapeutic. I've worked it into my schedule and now it's really not an issue. And the last thing, number 4, is accept the fact that this is your life now. There is going to be Husky hair on everything. If you spend all your time trying to lint roll every last inch of your clothing, you'll never have time to enjoy with your dogs. And if this kind of stuff really bothers you, just don't wear black. And that's it. Those are the time savers / time management tips I have for you during this coat blow season. Gryphon looks so good right now because she got her coat blown out last weekend and now you're feeling really good, huh? Oh yes, you're welcome. I enjoyed it too. I had a good time. Gryphon really likes it. She likes it. Let me know in the comments section below if you guys have a Husky, how often do you groom them? And if you don't, and you really want a Husky, this is a reality of having these dogs. Do you think this is something that you could potentially handle? Thank you, thank you. You're a good doggy. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new things every Wednesday. You can tap on that little circle with my face in it to subscribe. If you want to see my last video, you can go here. And if you want to check out our vlog channel, you can go down there. My chin is wet. And now that we're at the end of this video, it's time for This Is Bello. Alright, it's been real. See you guys next week. Bye! Oh!